Hello. Hold on, let me get my earphones in.
I'm going to.
There you are.
Did you post the link to Twitter so I can send it out?
It should be on there. Whoop,
there it is. Retweet this.
Yeah, lots to talk about, man.
First of all, let's talk about the most important thing. You like my shirt?
DRF. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's one of the most recognizable logos in horse racing. It's a staple. They never change it. It's the same. It's clean. I love it.
Hey, the graphics are fucked up on the live stream.
Yeah, you know what that is? That's the wrong banner. So what I need to do is go to there, or I can do this. Whatever. Anyway, we had some eventful things. Let's do a recap.
Well, first let's start with what I think is the most important element of yesterday. What the fuck happened with Dick Best and why?
Right, that's what I wanted to get into. We still haven't gotten clarification. Apparently, in a stake race at, I don't know if this is California, all over the country or what, but at Los Alamitos, if you ship a horse in, there's obviously a security stable area for ship-ins, and in that area only security guards are supposed to be there, and the groom can't be there.
Mm-hmm.
And the groom was with the horse, did not see a security guard or security personnel, and I guess they thought we were drugging the horse, was what the insinuation was before the race. And they scratched him. So we've gotten disqualified, a phantom disqualification at Golden Gate. By the way, I lost a Pegasus seat for that.
Yep.
Speed crazy. We got another disqualification at Santa Anita, which was a lot of people. Some people said maybe there was something there. Most people said no, he shouldn't have been disqualified. That was Dick Best. Now this, we're shipping the horse out. We're leaving California for good.
Right.
Our string has gotten smaller and smaller in the last 6 to 9 months out there. Mm-hmm. So I think we're just done with California. I mean, it's pretty obvious they don't want us there. Now, we're going to get more information today. We tried to get a hold of the stewards yesterday, but you screw up your own handle. You go from, first of all, there were 6 horses originally in the race, 1 scratched. Then they scratch us 30 minutes before the race. It's a 4-horse field. That's going to screw up all of your handle. Makes no sense. How about calling the trainer? Look, who's complaining at that point? What is the rule? If there is a rule where the groom can't be in a restricted area with the horse before the race, where's your security personnel to enforce that? I don't know. It's just weird to say, hey, you can't come in here. You know what I mean? That type of thing.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this topic. I remember a similar disqualification in New York. I think it was couple Jeff Mullins horses were DQ'd because somebody was administering some sort of substance to the horses, like in the holding barn. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't owned enough horses in my day to have experience with something like this. But I mean, your horse clearly would have been no worse than 5th, and probably would have.
Hey, you never know. The longest shot on the board won the race.
Right.
And Baffert ran dead last. Hey, we could have maybe sat in that pocket in third behind the 2 speed, got first run, and maybe held off the closer at that point. Who knows? He was in good form. He's feeling good. Our look, he has one more California condition we can win out there on turf,
Hmm.
but I think we're just going to skip that altogether. He won a state bred out there. We can win open company over here with Danny, my brother. Then we
Right.
can win a non-winners of 2 over here. You know, the Hawthorne horses are a couple of cuts below. So we can
Yeah, that's a
contend.
bummer. That's a bummer, man.
Uh, so that's that. We'll see what happens. Now we had another scratch at Churchill.
Yep.
The post, I guess, was a little bit too much.
I don't know if that's why they scratched or not, but that's a bummer because
Why scratch?
yeah,
Because you
I don't
ship
know.
in, you're winning. He's winning 40% there with limited starters. What is he? 2 out of 5 with
Yeah,
2/3 too. So he's what 80% in the money with 5 shippers and 2 wins. I guess he didn't like the post, but
could be, or they didn't ship in, or because they didn't like the post, or who knows. But
now
I think that horse would have run well.
out at Aqueduct or Belmont or whatever you want to call it, that worked out pretty well. I think our analysis hit pretty much right on the head there.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you were right, completely right about the odds. I thought even with no scratches, we were going to be under 7-2. So you won the bet. Um, then tote board opens up. Formulator says that the horse is projected for like 10-1, goes off at 9-1. We identified that the 9 was probably the best horse in the race and was going to
Right.
get over bet, and it did. But we gave out a 15-1 exacta. I mean, the win. So I did make money on the race. Not
I only
very,
had a $20 exacta, I have to confess.
yeah. I had it for I had and I don't mind talking about amounts. I had 400 to win on the 3, and I had a $50 exacta key box, which means I basically boxed my
Right.
3 with the 4 and with the 9. It wasn't a 3-horse box. It was just the 3 with each of those. And midway through the race, obviously the other Chad Brown was in there to run. They scratched one of the Chads, and then the 8 was in there to make sure that 4 didn't get away with the soft. The 4 ran huge. I mean, the 4 ran a massive race to be third. And then our 3-horse, I got a message on Twitter from somebody who said that if the 3 had started the move a little earlier, it might have won, but I don't think so. I think that 9 was best, just like we kind of knew it was.
That was a strange race.
Yeah.
You watched it. I mean, for those of you that didn't watch the race, 2 horses got into an insane speed battle. I think I wouldn't call it like insane speed battle, but they were in their own little match race. I think they distanced themselves from the rest of the field by about 12 lengths.
At least. It was a monster.
And we a horse got first run on us. We passed that one, and then the 9 came over the top of everybody.
Well, the 9 passed us kind of in like early stretch.
Right.
And just because, I got to kill this moth real quick. Damn it, it moved. That's going to bother the shit out of me. Anyway, so I think the 9 was best. I don't think it really would have mattered when the 3 moved. God damn it. I'm going to kill this freaking moth. Right here live on Coffee with Bill.
Is it flying around a light bulb or something in there?
Yes, I have a lamp on my desk.
Yeah.
Dude,
It's
as you know from the time you stayed with me in Florida, Florida has a massive insect, just a general insect. It's not even a problem. It's just the way life is.
yeah.
And it's just I'm always dealing with one random bug flying around. And I'm wondering how the new owner of the house that we recently sold, which you stayed in, is handling the roach issue in
the guest house.
In the guest house,
which is a cool little cozy little hangout right by the water. I had fun. Your neighbors got up early all the time too. I don't know what they were doing out there, but
smoking weed. The next door neighbors smoke a lot of pot. But that guest house is right, literally on a lake. Like if you walk out of the door, you are on a dock, and there's just tons and tons of the Florida state bird, which is the roach, and nothing you can do about it.
The state bird.
Yeah, but But listen, I've got 3 horses. I got 3 plays today that
Yeah.
I think you're going to like, and we can get into them.
Yeah, we could dive into a couple of what was the first.
Well, let's go. So let's go in a weird order here. We'll go with Belmont at Aqueduct's 6th race. If you want to pull out your PPs, if I'm an old lone speech,
and then we'll show them to you.
Pull out your PPs and show them to me. I want to see your PPs. Everybody, pull out your PPs. The 6th race at Belmont today is a state bred, non-winners of one other than at 1 mile and an 1/8 on the turf. And there is a horse in here that is 5-2 on the morning line, which I have to believe will actually be lower than 5-2. In fact, probably substantially lower than 5-2.
First time in forever.
That is that is the 8. First time in forever. Now, you can probably answer this for me, or maybe since you don't play New York that often, maybe you won't be able to answer this. I'm a little unclear as to why this horse is eligible for this race, and it's a New York bred race. And if you open the conditions, this is for filly and mares 3 years old and upward, foaled in New York State and approved by the New York State bred, blah, 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 which have never won $18,000 other than maiden, claiming, or starter, or which have never won 2 races. Now, the 8 has won 3 races, and there are other horses in the field that have won 3. The 3 wins came in a maiden special weight with a purse of $85,000. So obviously the horse won. I got them off.
Santa Anita, you got them off. Okay.
Yeah. Obviously on July 21st, 2023, the 8 won $18,000. Then comes back not for a tag, but that's not a. Oh yes, wait a minute.
I think it's a state bred, and it's not a.
No, I'm wrong. It's the 2 wins in January and February were starters, and the conditions don't count.
Right.
Starter races. So there you go. I answered my own question by just reading it a little bit more carefully and noticing that even though on January 1st the horse was not in for a tag, it was a starter allowance. So therefore, there's your answer. Anyway, this horse comes from the West Coast, has put in 3 races over this 2 races over the surface, and had trouble in both of them. People can watch the replays for themselves, but I think was definitely best. Maybe not as good as the winner overacting 2 back, but that horse is a good one. Anyway, you've got horses in here that have run in open claimers at lower levels. I think the 8 is the most likely winner of the race, and is probably fair value at 8-5 or 9-5, if I'm being completely honest. So what I thought about doing was trying to hit an exacta, and there are 2 horses in here that I think are going to be maybe not prices, but they're certainly not going to get bet heavily. And they are ridden by, I believe, the husband and wife duo, the Davis family, Dylan Davis and his wife, whose first name I don't know. Is it Kristen Davis? But I'm pretty sure those 2 jockeys recently got married. I'm showing my ignorance.
Okay, what number are we talking about here?
2 and the 4.
Okay.
The 2 and the 4. Both of them coming out of the exact, not the same race, but a split version of the same race on May the 25th, the 5th at Belmont Aqueduct and the 8th. They were both 1 mile and a 16th non-winners of one for New York bred, so they basically split the race. They both ran well. They both had trips of death. In fact, the 2, Saratoga Gaze, clearly has an addiction to the trip of death, as she has been in a trip of death.
Oh yeah,
numerous times,
like 4 times in a row, and probably 5 of the last 6.
Yeah, one of them was a dirt race, which we don't really count. But
yeah.
Through the past performances, This horse loves to be chasing in the 2 or 3 path within a length of the leader, which is textbook trip of death.
Mm-hmm.
It is very hard to win with that trip, although Saratoga Gaze did win a non-winners of 3 claimer at Tampa with that trip. So today, breaking from the 2 hole and clearly being faster than the 1, unless the jockey does something incredibly stupid, I think the 2 is guaranteed to avoid the trip of death and probably get a pretty good trip. So I think the 2 is a very live candidate to hit the exacta, as is the 4, who doesn't have the early speed, but is going to get a little bit better trip than she got last time at a massive price. I don't love that the horse was a massive price, but I think the horse has a little more ability than she has shown throughout her career. I think the effort on May 25th was a strong one. And if we get the price that I think we might get, I think there's a reasonable chance that that the 8 wins, but either the 2 or the 4 runs second. And just to be safe for some sanity insurance, I'm going to play probably a smaller exacta box with the 2 and the 4, and then exactas with the 2 and the 4 over the 8.
So is this going to be the main play here, though? And then you're going to the 8 over the 2-4.
Yes, that'll be the big bet, because I think the 8 should win this race.
So so if I want to invest $100, I'll just do a $50 8 over the 2-4.
If your total bankroll for the race is $100, I would do like a $40 exacta key 8 over the 2-4, and then I would try. That leaves you with $20. I would probably try, like a $5 box 2-4,
okay,
and then $5 2 and 4 over the 8. Maybe tinker with those amounts a little bit. I think the 8 is going to be very hard to beat. But the 8 has had odd trips twice in a row, and who knows? Sometimes horses just find bad trips. But those races that first time in forever, was running in out in California. I mean, those horses would absolutely annihilate these horses. I mean, it wouldn't even be close.
Okay. Well, I think this looks good.
Go ahead, Steve.
No, I was here. You mentioned the post already for the 2.
Yeah.
I like that we're getting out of that 11 down inside, and hopefully we. I'm looking at the pace here. I don't know what the 3 is going to do. It's probably going to show a little bit of speed. I think we could sit. Probably instead of getting the outside trip of death, the 2 should finally this time save ground. Maybe, hopefully second or third, but on the inside. Yeah. And maybe just track a leader, or maybe 2 get in front of it, and we just sit. We get that perfect catbird seat in third.
Yeah, I mean, the 2. There's no reason for the 2 not to be on the rail.
Right, saving ground, right.
And with both the 2 and the 3 being faster than the 4, the 4 should not be up close this time. And I think the 4 should be no worse than in the 2 path. And I just think that's an interesting play. I mean, so that's it. That's the play there at Belmont.
I like it, guys. Like and subscribe out there. We have 80 something people watching. Right? We put out a lot of good content. Hit like and subscribe. Thank you. All right, the next track that we're going to go to.
Let's go to before we go to the play of the day. Let's go to Monmouth Race 9.
Okay, let me pull up Monmouth.
This would be a slightly larger play,
and I wonder if this is going to be part of our contest slate. By the way, I won 2 $500 entries on horse tourneys yesterday.
Amazing behavior.
Yeah, it worked out good for Hawthorne, and now I can just
By the way, Belmont's 7th and Monmouth's 9th are both part of the contest slate today. I'm sorry, Belmont's 6th, which we just discussed, and Monmouth's 9th are both part of the online contest slate today.
And I'm going to probably play the Dylan Davis horse in that race.
That's the 2, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so here we are at Monmouth. Are we looking at race 9?
Yeah, race 9, the $100,000 Tail of the Cat Stakes at 1 mile and a 16th on the turf. There is a horse in here that is not favored on the morning line. That, and I don't say this often, I will be very surprised if this horse loses. Now, the horse is no long shot, but there are other horses that are similarly priced on the morning line. So I don't think we're looking at a massive favorite. I'm talking about number 7, Abrumar, 7-2, Safi Joseph, Paco Lopez.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
This horse had a disastrous trip over a turf course that he may not have cared for at Pimlico, but he still ran amazing. I'm not going to say Irad blew it, but if you just watch the replay for yourself. And
we're gonna watch it now. We have some time.
Yeah,
let's not rush through this, right?
Echo Lane,
No.
So we're looking at
Abramar's the 10 horse.
that we're in the 10 hole.
I see
Can you turn off the sound? If possible?
Sure.
Wait,
Wait, we got to go back and look at the start there.
Yeah, let's do it. Abrumar got a bad start. It wasn't a disastrous start, but it certainly wasn't the perfect kind of start you would want. He's under Irad Ortiz there. Those are the Ken Ramsey Silks. Your eventual winner is the 12, Fulmineo, who's right behind us. And the 7 horse, to our inside, ends up running second. So you can see through this part of the race, Abrumar, I mean, there's nothing really wrong here. You're losing a little bit of ground, but it's certainly not the kind of trip that you can't come back from. Now we get this stupid over the head view, which I don't know why I said that. I kind of like
I kind of like it, but I see where you're at there. You're in a decent spot. The start, you broke out a little bit, you got bumped a little bit, but you gathered yourself.
Now we're there in the red cap.
I see you there. Yep, I see you there.
And the eventual winner is the 12, who is that in the yellow silks there out in the middle of the track?
Yeah. I see
yellow hat right kind of outside us there, going a little bit wider. So the 12, listen, I mean, the 12 was a little wide here himself. And you can see Abramar's now has kind of gotten shuffled back a little bit, nothing disastrous, but the real problem with Abrumar comes as we get to the top of the stretch. And you can see now that there's a little bit of traffic. Irad's maybe a little unsure as to where to go.
Yeah, he grabbed the reins right there.
And now, just in a blink of an eye, is second from last.
Yeah, I see that.
Fulmineo, the eventual winner there, is now assuming the lead and kind of left us. The 7, who runs second in the red cap to the inside, is clear sailing. And here comes the 10, Abrumar, gaining ground nicely over a soft turf course. Not easy to do. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, just a solid effort. Had the trouble, and was the trouble enough to cost Abrumar the race? I would say probably
second for sure.
Yeah.
And it's a yielding turf course. That was a slog fest out there.
Right. And so if we go back to the past performances for Abrumar, there's something I want to point out, that number 9, Full Nelson, is it was 5-1 on the morning line in here. The 8, who is the 7 horse in the race we just watched, is 4-1. You got Carson's Run, a Grade 1 winner, at 3-1 on the morning line, who also just had some trouble in the Aqueduct race, and is a decent horse. And then this sprinter stretching out in Feltrinelli at 4-1. So you've got a slew of horses. And then noted, I didn't mention, who I just think is kind of not at this level, if I'm being completely honest, is a stakes winner at Gulfstream. But there's something I want to point out, that Abrumar won 3 in a row this winter and spring at Gulfstream, including a $200,000 stakes race.
Which is hard to do.
The 9 also won 3 in a row. Actually 4 in a row, one on the synthetic at Gulfstream, but then won 3 in a row at Tampa. Okay, 2 of them at the allowance race, and then won a $75,000 stakes race. So the difference between winning 3 in a row, including a stakes at Gulfstream, versus winning 3 in a row, including a stakes at Tampa, it's night and day. I mean, Tampa is a nice turf course. They get some good horses. I'm not knocking Tampa, but what Abromar did at Gulfstream, against 2 10-horse fields and a 9-horse field is very different than what Full Nelson did at Tampa. So they're worlds apart. You have the trouble from the Murphy Stakes at Pimlico. Abromar is the better horse of those, including the 8. The 6, Carson's Run, is a solid horse, but I think I'll be surprised if Abromar doesn't win. I really will. I think I don't want to make this a play of the day. I mean, I'm going to play the horse. I wouldn't recommend a large wager unless the tote board creeps up there into the 9-2, 5-1 range, which I don't think will happen. But I'm going to be betting Abromar to win because I think Abromar is without question the best horse in the race.
The one thing I did notice too, firm turf is probably going to be the key here too. I mean, and Paco rode this horse to victories.
Yeah, twice. Yeah.
Which is really good to see him hopping back on. I think we just got to get some firm turf. And the last race was really good. We just watched the replay. The debut was good with some early trouble and being wide in a sprint. This is a talented animal. I don't know what happened at Churchill. I guess it was wide. Post,
I mean, I think
everything else.
I didn't watch I remember watching the race live. And I remember Abromar being wide. If you look, Brett broke from post 11, and the notes say pressed 4 and 3 wide. So that's your typical wide around the first turn. And then, as you can see, went from being 2 lengths off the leader to a half a length off the leader, kind of down the backstretch. So it was advancing while wide. That is always so hard to do. Was coming off a bit of a layoff, stepping up in class. Not surprising, Abromar didn't run a big race that day. So I think even at 3-1, or 5-2, I like Abromar. I mean, I think the horse has probably something resembling a 40 or 50% chance of winning the race, which would mean, even money or 6-7 to 5 was fair value. Mm-hmm. Somewhere in there, fair-ish, not necessarily a great bet, but at 3-1, 5-2 even, I'm playing this horse to win because I really think Abromar wins. So that's Monmouth's 9th race.
Have we gotten a weather report at all out there?
No, and you raised a great point because if it is a wet track, then I may have to rethink things. Let me pull up my.
The last race wasn't bad though on a soft going. It just hasn't won the last 2 on soft going. I don't know if anybody else in here has won on good or yielding or soft.
I think Monmouth is in Oceanport, New Jersey. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
And it's where my iPhone is saying 35% chance of rain today, but I'm not seeing it until tonight.
Yeah, so, I don't think that's going to do anything. Okay, so that's good.
All right, and that's again a part of the contest. Like if you play online, which I don't really, but my big play of the day, which we've saved for last, is in Woodbine's 6th race, which is a maiden special weight for 3-year-olds at 1 1/16 on the turf around 1 turn. It's on the main turf course there. Mm-hmm. And this is how I'm going to approach this race. Well, I'm going to advise everyone to watch this replay. We can watch it right now. In fact, we should watch it.
Yes, we will.
For number 11, REA, the career debut, the 11 horse, breaking from I think it's 11. It's the 11 today, and the replay, I think it's also the 11. Post 11 to 13. So there are 2 horses to the outside. I know sometimes watching these replays at Woodbine are tricky.
And the field is all in.
The sound off.
Lockout.
So I want you to notice the break for the 11. Breaks really well, and at this point, we're only a few strides out of the gate. You can see up and on the lead. I mean, near the lead, within less than
the pink cap there.
No, it's the yellow cap. So
is it yellow?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah. Oh no, I missed it. Okay, yeah, let's look again. I want you
to see it.
Let's look again.
Yeah. So there's the 11. There are 2 horses outside of us, so we're the third from the outside. and you're going to see it's the yellow cap right there.
I got you.
And broke, I mean, not on the lead, but within a neck or something of the lead early. And then watch what the rider does here. Kind of slowly takes back in an attempt to save ground. And just within the next 16th of a mile, we're 5 or 6 lengths off the pace after braking so well. Not a huge deal, but clearly the rider didn't want to get hung out wide in this one-turn sprint and took back a little bit. Now, the eventual 1, 2, 3, 4 finishers are 1, 2, 3, 4 at this point in the race. Okay, so the race was kind of a merry-go-round feel to it. You can see where that's us. They're kind of on the rail.
I see you. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, so the 11 did save ground, and there are 2 other horses in the race today that came out of this, and we passed both of them late. And then in a minute, we're going to look at the chart and see what horses that came out of here actually did. I think you'll be impressed. But I want you to watch the gallop out. Our 11 is basically in about 8th right now, down at the rail and the yellow cap, and finishes 8th. But let's watch the gallop out here. You're going to see it here in a second. Our horse is going to kind of come up on the inside. Right now, just coming into the frame. And
I got you.
Granted, we're more than 1/8 of a mile past the wire, but watch here in just a second. You're going to see that they cut it off, but we end up going right up there with the leader.
I see you right there.
It was a really strong gallop out. And
I would like to point something out. That was its debut,
right?
And that was on the synthetic sprinting 6.5.
Right.
It got, there's a lot of kickback with that. And it may not have liked that when it got down on the rail there. And then once they got some separation, then he started to come again. But I love your idea about stretching this thing out on turf. It's going to show a lot of natural speed today.
I think so too. And it's one turn, so the post 11 doesn't really bother me. Can you go to the chart from that race?
Yeah, well, the first thing I want to do is look at the siblings. I'm just curious. Oh, look at this. True Image ran some really nice races on the turf, and its career got cut short, but it won a maiden special weight going down the hill with an 86 Beyer speed figure. And some of the other siblings weren't much, but you do have a good sibling that did some good things on the turf. Now that race looks like a key race. I saw some italics. So let's
not only that, look at this. 5 horses have come back to run. 3 of the 5 won. One of them won a stakes race.
Yep, the
and
winner.
one of the ones that lost to one of the other horses. They were in the same race. It was the June 15th. Was it the June 15th 9th race at Woodbine? You had Hawkesbury second in the replay we just watched, came back to win. Yep. American Decision, who was third in the replay we just watched, came back to run third. Mm-hmm. Ponce de Leon, the winner in the replay, came back to win a $80,000 stakes race at Presque Isle. And Have It My Way.
Yeah, I saw that one on the turf.
Who was 9th, who finished behind our horse, came back to win at 23-1 at 6.5 on the turf. So a definite key race. Yeah, we get the connections high profile. I mean, their high win rate. The trainer is winning at 30% on the year from only 20 starts. The rider Emma Jane Wilson.
Emma Jane.
Yep, solid. We're getting 20-1 on REA today on the morning line. I think we'll get around that price just because it's a good field, as long as we don't have too many scratches. What I don't understand, you've got the 5 today, One Last Kiss, who was 11th that day, is now, of course, was bet down that on debut, is 8-1 on the morning line. You've got Connor. Today's 4 was in there. So the morning line on REA may be a little bit silly, but we're definitely going to get a price.
What do you think? What price do you think we're going to get?
I don't know, man. I mean, we could
What's the over under?
Oh, you're better at this than me, bro. I mean, you know, I mean, I think 20 to 1 would surprise me. 10 to 1 would also surprise me. I mean, I think 12 to 1 is reasonable. I just can't see. But if you go to the DRF analysis, nobody picks this horse.
Yeah, we might be. This is a capper. This isn't part of the.
No, I don't think it is. I don't think.
Yeah, this is the type of horse that. Man, I would love to have this horse on a contest slate, and I wonder why they don't use Woodbine more often. But this one, yeah, we're gonna get. I think we're gonna get. If you look at the field, it's hard to pick a winner in here, and I think it's 20 to 1 seems kind of generous, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, the trainer's 26% at the meet.
Yeah.
This guy, I don't know if he just got his trainer's license or what. I don't know who Darwin Banach is, but he's got 20 starts on the year, 19 here. So he's 26%. He's got 5 seconds as well. So kind of a hot trainer. Him and Emma Jane are 0 for 4 together, but I think this horse would be a little bit less than 20 to 1, but that doesn't matter. I mean, if we get a $30 horse, we're happy with that. And I think the idea should be to break clean, be a little bit forwardly placed, but then you want to tuck in at some point. It's a long stretch to that first turn.
Yeah.
We should be able to work out a trip. Emma Jane knows this turf course like the back of her hand.
Yeah, and she'll have no problem. I mean, you saw what she did in the debut. She made a point of getting over and saving ground with the horse.
Right.
And, you know, no reason to think she won't at least attempt the same thing today. As far as what kind of pace we should expect in here, you know, I mean, if you look at time form.
Might be quick, but.
Yeah. It might be.
Yeah. The 9's got 115.
And here's the thing. I don't even care if this race comes off the turf because.
Of course not.
The question is, what I don't know is what distance they'll run at if it's on the synthetic. I think they have to go. It's got to be 2 turns, and if that's the case, you know what? I don't know.
It might be 2 turns on the Tapeta.
Yeah, mile and 16th on synthetic at Woodbine is 2 turns. You're correct. Yeah. Just looked. So that's what they'd have to do.
Well, I would love to get 20 to 1 on this horse.
Yeah, I just can't believe we're going to. But you know, I'm playing this horse. Look, as long as we're not getting 8 to 1, and even at 8 to 1, I'll probably throw a couple bucks on it. You know, so that's the play, Steve-O.
So how do I guess if we were going to throw anything underneath, I like to do like $5 tries that cost about $30 with 3 underneath.
Mm-hmm.
So you know you'll hit the trifecta 10 times. This horse wins on top of a trifecta like that. You're probably looking at potentially a $150, $200, $300 trifecta for 50 cents.
Yeah, depending on who else runs. And
yeah, it's because it's a big field and we're a big price on top. And if we get one of these other horses, so you know we can make $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 off a $30 investment potentially. Who would you throw underneath? Or maybe I should look at that myself.
No, I mean, look, the 8 Swift Delivery, Mark Casse coming up from Gulfstream, ran some okay races as a 2-year-old. Ran an okay race in May at Gulfstream, which, you know, the competition at Gulfstream kind of takes a bit of a dip there once you get into April and May. But, you know, I think you'd have to take the 8 seriously.
Yeah.
The 10 ran pretty well on debut. The 9 is going to be forwardly placed. You know, that makes the horse dangerous.
I'm kind of eyeing this Kevin Attard horse, the 6.
Yeah.
Second off the 2-year-old layoff to 3. They're taking the hood off and they're going back to turf as well, where it's stakes placed in a restricted stake as a 2-year-old. And you know, Attard is a pretty good staple, a good trainer out there
Mhm.
in Canada. I'm going to definitely throw the 6 underneath.
And
Looks
the
like it
6,
had a few trouble trips. It seems to find a lot of trouble too in a lot of its races. So hopefully we can get a clean trip this time.
well, also your 6 as a maiden has run in 5 prior starts. 3 of them were stakes races. Okay, so
Right.
the competition has been, solid enough. So yeah, your 6 makes sense. The 8, the 9, and the 10 all make sense. So if you were going to do, I mean, with a price, I would say 11 over the 6, 8, 9, 10 over the 6, 8, 9, 10. That's 12 combinations. So your $5 bet becomes a $60 bet if you do a $5 try. 11 over the 6, 8, 9, 10 over that's probably what I would aim for. The 5 got bet on debut. Was basically 4-1 in a 13-horse field, the race we just watched. And I don't recall seeing that horse in the replay. It says chase 4 wide and came up empty. Probably going to run a better race. But, why was that horse bet to the 4-1 on debut? Would be my question. Maybe.
All right. So this is a bet that I would want to do as well. So this is going to cost $60.
Yep.
11 over the 6, 8, 9, 10 over the 6, 8, 9, 10. So we got to hope we win the race at a good 15 to 20 to 1. And after that, it doesn't really matter. You're going to get paid.
I would probably.
And then do some exactas the other way. Maybe
Well,
in the second
also
slot.
play the 11 in second. So then play a 6, 8, 9, 10 with 11 with 6, 8, 9, 10 in case you crush the race, but then the 11 runs big but doesn't win, gets second. So
Yeah.
maybe if you want to keep it at $60, you do a $2 try key with the 11. Maybe a $3 one way and a $2 the other way. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, we can mix and match it. I mean, this is kind of like my general idea to start with, and then from
Right.
there I could do some hedging, some exacta wheel. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll definitely have a win bet on the 11. The worst thing you want to do is pick the 11 on top, play a try, and not have a win bet on it and not hit the try. I mean, that would be, and I've done that before, by the way.
Sure. So there are the coffee with dew plays. We've got in Belmont 6. We think the 8's going to win. We like the 2 and the 4. Maybe we try to find an exacta using all those horses somehow. People should look, handicap the race, come up with their own play. And then in Monmouth's 9th, Abramar, who I'm pretty sure is the 7. I closed my past performances. Yep. Yeah, Abramar, who I'm going to be playing at 2-1, 5-2. I'm probably still putting something on there. Not sure if I try to hit a try. Maybe I'll go back and look at the race. I'm kind of hoping we get the morning line. And then in Woodbine's 6th, the 11, REA, we're hoping for 12, 15 to 1. We think 20 to 1 is unrealistic. I don't think gallop outs mean everything, but they do indicate a little something. And when you think about how well this horse broke on debut, taken back, not able to really keep up early, but galloped out strong. I think there's ability here, and I think this horse has a shot stretching out on the turf.
Yeah. All right. So basically, so we got those plays down. I'm going to put our Twitter handles here. Those are scrolling on the bottom there. So it's basically our first and last names, right?
Mine's at Justin Dew, all one word.
Yeah, and mine is Steve Simonovich. So if you guys want to follow us on Twitter, there's the Twitter handle there. I'm sharing this on Instagram. I don't go on there as often, but and then also the YouTube channel, guys, like and subscribe that. We put out a lot of content. We do Coffee with Dew. Of course, during the Oaklawn season, me and my brother do Oaklawn capping hour for every Oaklawn race. And then I'm always doing content with the family horses and big racing days. The Triple Crown races, I had people from all over the world watching. The one guy in particular was he was a cool dude from India.
By the way, are you drinking coffee today?
I am drinking coffee. Are you?
Yeah.
That's coffee?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what kind of coffee is that? Just
Costco little, what do you call those things? The little.
Oh man,
You
I
put them in
gotta,
the little Keurig coffee things.
I gotta have a talk with
Packets.
you. I'm
Yeah.
looking in.
I'm not a sophisticated coffee drinker like you are.
Well, it's yeah. See, right now, what me and Marco are rehabbing a house down in Arkansas
Hmm.
in Hot Springs, and it's going to be one for us to stay in and stuff. We're putting in a coffee station, and I'm looking at cappuccino machines, and they're not cheap. But you've had cappuccino before, obviously.
I'm not positive that I've had cappuccino.
Oh my God. See, I'm gonna get you hooked. Now, you don't like sugary drinks? You like just
I
do you
mean,
drink your coffee black or do you go
yes,
cream?
black.
Black, perfect. Cappuccinos are like I drink my cappuccinos. There's a little bit of like foamed milk in there or whatever you want to call it. And it's just there's no sugar the way I drink it. They're fantastic. You can get espressos, but I drink this I guess it's Turkish coffee a lot. There's mud on the bottom of the cup.
Okay.
And of course, Seattle's best is a good bean to buy, a good bag of coffee you could get at just about any store. And it's a good bean instead of like this Maxwell House. When people drink Maxwell House or they're drinking Folgers or Sanka or whatever hell else, look, cross that stuff off your list and dive deeper and broaden your horizons into the coffee world.
I just don't know that I need another habit or addiction. Or
No, we're not looking at addictions or habits. We're just. I want you to enjoy a good cup of coffee. Not just you in particular, but just anybody out there listening.
Yeah.
Which we have 127 people on right now.
Are they still watching, even though we stopped talking horses and we started talking coffee? I'm surprised.
It's actually gone up. I mean, not yeah, it's going up. People love to talk about coffee.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get into coffee. And for a while, I was drinking a lot of Crystal Light, and I won't get into too many more of my health issues, but I think that artificial sweetener was causing some issues.
I bet it was
with my system, so I'm off that. And then I started drinking Diet Coke, which also has artificial sweetener, and that's probably stupid. I should probably just be drinking water, maybe with some lemon sprayed in there. I've cut out carbs and sugar. I have very minimal carbs, very minimal sugar, and I've lost a lot of weight in the last 6 months by doing that.
Cutting the sugar out is going to be just half the battle right there.
Yeah, and that's absolutely critical. I eat a lot of like salads with sliced grilled chicken and hard-boiled eggs on them, and maybe some tomatoes and a tiny bit of cheese. Turkey burgers. We got this air fryer, and I take 2 frozen turkey burgers, throw them in, fry them up for
good.
17 minutes. Those are good. Salmon. Haven't had salmon in probably.
Oh, I love salmon. You kidding me?
Salmon in the air fryer, man. 19 minutes on 390 degrees. It gets a little crispy on the outside. It's got a lot of natural flavor. You don't have to put any salt or anything on it. Of course, my wife and I went out last night. I told you yesterday it was the 5th anniversary of our first date. So not like an official anniversary, but we went to the same restaurant that we met at.
That's where you guys first met?
Yeah.
At this particular restaurant?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Well, I met her. She doesn't like when I tell people this, but I met her on a dating app, and we just agreed to meet at this bar restaurant. So we met there, and then that was on June 22nd, 2019, and so yesterday was 5 years, and
it's just lunch.
No, it was Tinder.
Okay.
Tinder, which she doesn't like it when I.
Well, Tinder.
It's an app for sluts. I used to say it's an app, and
look, it's. I can see where
she claims she was only on Tinder for like a day, and
yeah, it could be intimidating on there. Yeah. Swiping left, swiping right, and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, she's embarrassed by it, so she doesn't like people to know. And I keep this picture of my wife in my office.
Oh, that's the classic one. Everybody on Twitter's seen that one, and on Facebook.
Yeah, and she doesn't like it when I post it, so I went and got it framed, and it's on my
But
office.
you know what? I think she does like that.
No, of course she does. She loves the way she looks. At it.
But she has to act like she doesn't like it.
That's 100% what it is. 100%. She loves it.
Everybody loves that photo. Come on.
I know. I'm gonna get it put on T-shirts, but yeah. So anyway, I digress.
So the name of the restaurant, do you want to give that one out?
Yeah. It's called Teak, Teak, and it's in Maitland, Florida, which is just kind of suburban Orlando. And it's kind of gone downhill a little bit. But put it this way: we went in there last night, Saturday night at 7:00, and most restaurants around here that you try to get into at 7:00, you're looking like at a 45-minute wait. Okay. Not only was there no wait, the place was almost completely empty. And one of the two bars that are in the establishment was closed. I mean, the lights were off in that portion of the restaurant. There were no chairs around the bar or anything.
Oh wow, that's not a
The
good
place was
sign.
totally dead. And the food was. So we're talking about diet. When I had a quesadilla, chicken and cheese only with sour cream. That was kind of like my cheat meal for the week.
Right.
But I'm completely off of red meat unless it's like ground beef. No more red meat. No Chick-fil-A, because even the grilled nuggets at Chick-fil-A were causing me some stomach issues.
They don't give you a big enough portion over there. I always find myself hungry after I eat at Chick-fil-A, so I don't go there anymore.
Well, it's also, my understanding is that they cook it in peanut oil.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that may be causing some of my stomach issue. I have diverticulosis, which people can Google that. And then if that becomes inflamed, it becomes diverticulitis, which can be painful and potentially very serious. Brent Schraff, our good friend from Team Lonesby, we talked about him yesterday. He also suffers from the same affliction.
Oh,
and
man.
You have to be very careful what you eat when you have this. So over the course of the 18 months since I first developed this, I've taken the Steve Simonovich approach, and I've tried to be very careful with what I consume.
Yeah, when you get an entree, don't get fries, get vegetables.
Yeah. And you don't have an ounce of body fat on you. And that's because your diet you're very careful with what you eat.
Well, there's some family history. My cholesterol, believe it or not, just because it's the family history, is a little elevated. Not crazy, but it's elevated. And I have to watch everything that I eat because of that. I got caught a bad hand on that.
Yeah, mine is also elevated. My blood pressure is high, so I'm on like a whole cocktail of. I take some supplements too and vitamins. I guess you can't count that, but I'm on like.
Yeah, I've got a really good vitamin that I take, Primal multivitamin.
Okay.
It's good. I like it. I've been using it. It's got good reviews. It was recommended to me by a nutritionist, and I've been taking that. It's about $30 a bottle. There's only 30 pills in here, but yeah, $1 a pill $1 a pill. So
yeah, I mean, if it helps you, I take a multivitamin that's like vitamin C, vitamin B, zinc, quercetin. There's something else in it too. It's just immune support. And I take this olive leaf extract for immune support. I was taking a probiotic, but I didn't like some of the results of that, so I stopped taking that. I'm getting old, man. 48. Where's that? I took a picture. Did you see the
this
picture?
is good stuff too. Yeah, we're getting old, but we could still. This is called Natacor. Now this is from a scientist that we know. He's originally from Wisconsin, and now he lives in Arizona. And he makes this stuff, and it's good for unclogging arteries. It's it naturally. My dad. A little short story for you.
Yeah.
My dad was looking at a very serious carotid artery surgery.
Yes.
He had one done before there, and he had to get another one. And they wanted to take a vein or an artery from his leg and put it up in his neck. And he got on this for 30 days. Got aggressive with the program. He talked to the guy, and he told him what to do to get the plaque down. And he got a ultrasound done again before the surgery, and everybody's jaw dropped. Long story short, he didn't have to have the surgery.
It's amazing. It's just
So we attribute it to the Natacor, and
you
it works.
can you take away the past performances so that I can show this picture a little bit larger?
Oh yes, 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 yes.
So I just posted this. I want to point something out here.
Yeah, I saw you post this on.
And what you can't really see like the ear hair, for instance, but for those of you watching, I'm 48 years old, and you can see the gray hair. You can see the numerous spots on the face. And Susie posted this picture several weeks ago when we were on a family vacation in Hilton Head, visiting my mom and my siblings and their kids, and it was kind of a mini family reunion.
Okay.
This picture's been on social media for weeks, and I didn't really notice it until yesterday. This is the first time in my life that I've ever felt like an old guy. I mean, I don't look. And I'm 48. Okay, I'm not a young man. All right, but I'm also not old. And seeing this picture and the spots and the gray hairs and everything, it's the first time I've ever felt.
Yeah. Listen.
Like I'm not. You know what I mean? Like I kind of honestly felt until now that I look like you. By the way, when I met you, which was in 2019. You were in your early 40s. I thought you were 30. I swear to God. I thought you were 30 years old.
I've got a couple of grays that have been coming in, and I've had, my mom died about 14 months ago, and that's affected me a little bit.
I know.
So it's just we're getting older though.
No, but see, I never thought that I looked Steve Simonovich young, but I did think I looked younger than my age until I saw that picture. And I'm like, I'm actually aging. I'm going to be 50 in a year and a half. And my goal is to be in the best shape of my life by 50. And I know that I will be.
Yeah. I want to, the same for me. I'm going to get back in the gym. And I played basketball with my nephews yesterday. And boy, I tell you what, it took a lot out of me, believe it or not.
It did, and
I was a little bit winded. We won both our games, the teams that we put together. But
I love that the whole family goes. Like your dad was there, and was Mike one of the coaches?
Yeah, Mike's a coach. He's the head coach. Yeah. My little nephews are really good. Now Rocco, he has.
We lost Steve-O. I'm not sure he knows he's been lost. I'm gonna have to pick up. Oh, there you are. You back?
There you are. Yeah, I lost you for a second.
We lost you. We lost you on video. We've only got you audio.
Oh, hold on a second.
Now he's completely gone. Now he's back. Now he's playing.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I accidentally hit a button. Anyway, my little nephew TJ, the little guy, the shorter one, is just an unbelievable running back. I mean, this kid. I'll send you some highlights, and you're gonna be like, wow.
Yeah, I mean that's.
But they went undefeated. They've won the championship 2 of the last 3 years. Last year they called flag guarding or something, and same thing would happen to me. And my brother me and all my brothers used to play City League flag football, and we won a City League championship. This was in 2001 up here in Kenosha, and
I was on you. I forget how close you are to Milwaukee. Kenosha's right between Chicago and Milwaukee.
We're right in the middle. It's like 35 minutes, 45 minutes each way, depending on where you're going.
Yeah, I thought about you last night because we were watching a Netflix documentary on Jeffrey Dahmer, which was
you know what? I was a paper boy when that happened. I was delivering papers in Kenosha. I was a paper boy. And I remember it was on the front page. It was a big deal up over here. That was a national story.
It was the front page of the national news.
But this guy, Milwaukee. What a weird. I mean, it was the guy's crazy. It was nuts.
And it sounds like the guy. The fact that he wasn't ever caught, like the police came within like 1 second of catching him numerous times. And they just weren't paying attention, and whatever.
Yeah, that's a discussion for another day. But those the people involved and all that and everything there, those are just kind of different kind of goofy people. There's some mental issues. There's a lot of problems there, and the Lord works in mysterious ways. I don't know.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, so yesterday, Steve-O, we talked about 2 races. One of them we couldn't play because 2 of our 3 horses scratched, so that doesn't count. But the other one, we gave out a winning exacta, and I think today we're going to have another winning day. I like all 3 of my horses a lot. I think we only need to be right once to make it profitable.
Mm-hmm.
And that Abramar is the most likely winner of our picks, and who knows, if we win that horse, we might be playing with the house. Of course, I think that race comes last, doesn't it? Yeah, Abramar is last of the 3. So, let's see if we can give it a go and make it 2 profitable days.
Yeah, let's make some money today. I'm gonna be watching some races. I have my niece's softball game I'm gonna check out later. I'll have my phone, and
how many people are still watching here at the?
We got 152. It went up.
It's going up. So
we were talking about our health and
we were talking about the spots,
eating habits
and gray hair going gray, and
yeah,
somehow we're getting more viewers. Yeah, 143 is what I see according to Twitter.
Yeah, I got 158, 150, 160 total here.
Oh,
so,
across all platforms? Are we on multiple platforms here?
Yeah, we're on multiple platforms.
Got the buyer speed figures are out from yesterday. The Ohio Derby was a 93 buyer speed figure, batting down.
Maiden winner too. It was facing winners for the first time, and
Vava
catching freedom.
Vava won the 7 furlong stakes at Churchill. Got a 99 buyer. Oversubscribed, the horse that beat us, but we hit the exact at Belmont Aqueduct, got a 91.
Wow, that was a powerful move too, and we ran good in that race.
Yeah, our horse we're gonna hear none above the law, a 90. How would Dick Best have done?
Dick Best on dirt, low 80s, but probably would have ran at least 3rd in that race, I would imagine.
Ponce de Leon, the horse that we talked about, who won the replay race at Woodbine, got an 86 yesterday at Presque Isle. The 3 Canterbury races were off the turf. I was going to enter that contest. Canterbury had a contest yesterday, but everything off the turf, I said, screw it, I'm not.
Well, how would you play that contest?
It was online. It was on ExpressBet.
I had no clue. I need to go on ExpressBet more often and look at some of their contests. I know Frank and Dylan are really, they play all those ExpressBet.
So do I. I've had a great
year. You play a lot of them too.
I've had a really good year on those. Let's see. That's pretty much it. There's some the Ohio Derby undercard stakes. Those buyers are out. Misty Vale got a 95. That's solid. Nothing in the 100s yesterday. So anyway, that's a recap of yesterday's buyers, and then the contest slate today for anybody playing online. And I have done nothing in that this year, but who knows? Maybe I will play today because I do have a couple opinions.
Yeah, I'm gonna play the another Hawthorne feeder, try and get more entries outside of what I've already gotten.
Gulfstream race 6 through 10 is part of the contest slate. I know they're not running on the turf at Gulfstream right now, not until some point in July, I think. But let's look and see how many of those races.
Yeah,
Gulfstream 6 through 10 are dirt. You have 3 synthetic and 2 dirts as part of the online contest slate today. So that, I mean, I feel like I'm just guessing when I'm.
You said 6 through 10.
Gulfstream 6 through 10 today is the part of the contest slate, and 3 of those 5 races are on synthetic.
All right, I got them up. Let's take a peek. The first race is the state bred A other than going 3/4 on dirt.
Why do they even have state bred races for?
Well, Florida's got a big breeding program, right? You gotta.
No, I mean for Florida, specifically for Florida. Like, I mean, yeah, it's like you don't see. I guess you do see Kentucky bred purse enhancements, but I don't think you see Kentucky bred state because that would be like, that just wouldn't make any sense.
I'm scanning through this race, 3-year-olds and up. So what is your opinion on 3-year-olds in late June against older horses?
I mean, I don't really have an opinion. I mean, if it's early in the year and 3-year-olds are facing older, then I'll probably give it a look. Our horse yesterday at Belmont Aqueduct, our 3-horse, that horse was in a 3-year-old stake and was coming back from having faced 4-year-olds. So I noticed that, and I think we were rewarded for noticing that.
Well, I already see a horse I want to play against. This is a filly, a 3-year-old filly running against older males, and it's 3-1 morning line.
What race are you in?
Race 6. Now you're getting 10 pounds. It's a sprint. I like getting weight routing, obviously,
Yeah.
but and it worked a bullet June 16th, but it looks a little slower on the numbers compared to a couple. Well, maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, that's a little bit unusual. I wonder if that horse is going to scratch. I mean, why?
Well, it's who's making the morning line? They spent $77,000 on this thing. Okay, whatever. It won against fillies in its last race, but who's betting? Who's playing this horse? I don't.
Yeah, especially. I mean, again, like you have a 6. I mean, again, I as I say every time we come on, I don't think Beyer speed figures are the be all end all. We're in a 65 Beyer, one win and 2 lifetime starts. The second comes up against like a horse like Joe DiBaggio, who's got 12 career wins and 62 starts. This is a 3-year-old filly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's.
Yeah, that horse has been running a lot. The 7 it comes into a new barn. And then if you look at the 3, maybe you're thinking, why was it off for a while? But it's getting back on dirt where it ran a huge number. And the 1.
There are some layoffs in here. I mean, there's
Yeah, there are a lot of layoffs. So the 2's gonna be sharp. But man, you're a 3-year-old filly against older horses.
Yeah,
male horses. A
right.
horse is a male, but yeah, I mean
I'm probably going to try to watch this race just because I'm interested.
And then you're looking at, look at this one coming in from Parks, the 4.
The only thing is, they say
that's a long layoff too. Wow, a lot of layoffs.
According to time form pace projections, the 3-year-old filly should have the early lead and probably be clear. Now, does that make it easier for a 3-year-old filly to beat older, more experienced males? I really don't know. But, I guess if the horse is just faster than these, doesn't matter if it's a male or female, I guess.
Yeah, I'd probably want
maybe Steve-O, maybe number 2 Cart Girl Sam is actually a colt but identifies as a filly.
Hey, it's 2024. There's some bizarre
situation, right? Where like that
bizarre stuff going on out there. I mean, yeah.
That swimmer, that man that swam against girls and became national champion when he was ranked like 600.
Leah Thomas.
Thomas.
I would like to know who in God's name condones something like that.
And
it's always the males wanting to go into female sports. It's not the other way around. You want to have some lesbian that wants to play against males in their sport, because there's the obvious. It's biology. I just don't understand these crackpots running around, and we allow it. You're going to get me off on a whole other tangent here, and I'm going to go ape shit. But
yeah, we're going to end up spending like 30 minutes.
We have 171 people watching who would like to maybe hear that opinion. But let's go into the.
I think the 171 people watching us right now think they have to think it's absolutely absurd that men are allowed to pretend that they're women and compete against them in serious sports.
There's always a couple of weirdos out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
Have you seen what Disney has done to Star Wars? I don't know if you're.
When
I was growing up, when I was a kid, I was a Star Wars fan.
Of course, we all were.
I hate Star Wars now.
Yeah,
absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
I would hope that Elon Musk would buy the franchise off of Disney and save it. But I will not take any of my nieces and nephews to watch any Disney content, let alone Star Wars.
Yeah, I watched. I mean, I remember in 1999 when the Phantom Menace came out.
Uh-huh.
That was a really big deal. My whole family went, and we were. I thought it was okay, a little bit hokey, but they just got progressively worse and dumber after that. And then they started coming out with a lot of movies, and I had a hard time, remembering, well, where does this fit in the story? So I just stopped. And then they were dumb, so I completely abandoned the entire Star Wars franchise. But I grew up with the same 3 movies you did. I remember my mom pulling me out of school. Hey, there's Dylan.
I wonder if Dylan thinks Leah Thomas should be swimming.
Dylan, this is what Dylan would say.
Dylan would be like, I don't care.
Exactly what he would say. He would say,
I'm just handicapping horses.
Right. Yeah. Dylan doesn't like to take controversy.
Dylan and Frank they don't want nothing. They don't want to be involved in anything political or, well,
they're smart. They're smarter than we are.
Yeah.
They
listen. Yeah. Because, I get a little upset. You get a little too upset sometimes.
Yes.
Did you look at the 7th race I have up? Look who's running.
Oh, our winner from
This was a Lone Speed Coffee with Dew play.
Coffee with Dew bonus play. It was a
bonus
winner.
play. It was 4-1, and it won. And now we're getting back to synthetic here, right? Yeah, So what I noticed about the synthetic races, you want to be a horse that has a little bit of a kick. This one does. On the synthetic, it's run well. It's it's been running over its head on synthetic a lot, but when it found a sweet spot for 50, it ran a really good race. And on the Gulfstream synthetic in particular, it's got 3 wins and 5 starts. So we might have to come back to Novo Soul in this spot.
4-1. Who are they saying is going to be favored?
The 3 looks interesting.
The 6, Tis the Bomb is in here.
Tis the Bomb. There's really, I'm not seeing a lot of speed so far, but I'm telling you, I guess the 7 will go. Yeah.
Boy, number 6, Tis the Bomb has not won since the Jeff Ruby Stakes 2 years ago, more than 2 years ago.
Right. I don't see anything on the page. 0 for 10 last year.
You've got a lot of familiar names in here.
But I guess the 7 will be one that is going to try and wire. I did sprint at Golden Gate and got tired in a stake, but it showed the ability to route with some decent numbers on turf at Gulfstream. And if it could take to the synthetic, it might be a wire threat. But, man, it's hard to wire. Lamplighter Jack, a horse that well, wired a lot of races out there. And that's kind of an anomaly. He just loved that surface. But it's hard to find horses that wire on the synthetic or the Takeda going to.
Handy Dandy is here.
It's a good race.
Some really familiar names. Wow.
So do we go for a price? I don't know if I would. I'm still not going to pick the 7, but the 7, the 7's 9-2. I don't want the 7 trying to wire at 9-2.
Oh, wow. You've got Kent DeSormo on Handy Dandy. If you know what? I'm going to have to play in contest today just because I've got opinions on a couple of the races.
So Handy Dandy has never run on a synthetic surface.
Right.
But is 15-1. And it has one of the best late time form kick numbers. So that's what you want. Now you ran in August, then you had a little bit of break to October. We haven't seen this one since then. The work tab is, it's hard to read in between some of those works when it was by itself, no other workers, but the last 2 works were just okay. The work 2 back was good on June 7th, but Hess is 0 for 18 at the meet. But is 22% off of 6-month layoffs.
Yeah. So
We're gonna get a price. We're gonna get a price on this one. This might be a good contest pick.
Yeah, I've bet this horse multiple times. I've
Okay.
won with this horse multiple times. I don't think I was on this horse the day it won at 25-1, but I did connect. It may have been an exacta that I connected with, but anyway, I've made money on Handy Dandy before.
Yeah, I think in this race, it looks wide open. We want to command a price, and that's our price. And Hess is bound to win a race, right? He's over 18.
Oh my God.
But maybe this is the spot because he's good at bringing him in off the layoff. And by the way, DeSormo, he's not exactly setting the world on fire. He's 2 for 17.
Right.
But it's Kent DeSormo, when he's on, he's one of the best riders, jocks in America, I mean, now this one was claimed ironically for 80 at Del Mar by this barn. They come out here last fall, run a clunker on dirt, gave it some time off, and here we are. So yeah, this is the play, man. 15-1. You got to feel like it's protected. It's still protected.
Mm-hmm.
There's no tag here, nothing. I don't even know if you can run in it. Yeah, you can run for a tag in here. So it's protected, and I got to feel like Hess has this one ready. This is an interesting development here that we're talking about Gulfstream.
I'm a little surprised. Some of these are contest races. I mean, you have the.
Is this these all? This you said 6 through 10 are all contest races?
Yeah, and I'm looking through them. Like
Perfect.
the ninth is only 7 horses. The eighth is 8. I've looked at the 10th.
Well, I'm going to go to the 8th now, but
the 10th is 8. I don't know. I mean, I guess that Sunday racing is sometimes not the best.
Sonicus in this 8th race is one I know well, but I hate breaking from the inside sprinting, whether it's dirt or turf. I can't stand the one hole, especially at 5.5. You can get tangled up in there. And this one's going to be coming from out of it anyway. You're going to have to work out a trip. So I'm not too keen on that.
So I'm kind of bouncing around here. Belmont 6th and 7th are part of the contest, and they're both turf races. So I'd say that's kind of right up my alley.
Well, we could dive into those.
Well, we already played the 6th. We got an opinion in there. You like the 2? That's one of the Coffee with Dew plays.
Okay, before we dive into some of those at Aqueduct or Belmont, the 6 here with Saffie Joseph, second off the layoff, is going to be ultra tough. It's getting off that rail where it had to really press, and it got clear, but you had to probably use the horse a little bit at 5. I think this is 5.5. Yeah, we're 5.5 now. And the contest that I'm going to be in for the Hawthorne contest, you just got to pretty much hit winners there, and there's only going to be like 10 people in there. This horse is 4 out of 6 on the synthetic over there at Gulfstream, and I'd be shocked if the 6 Admiral Hopper didn't win this race. Van Dyke has found a renaissance. Remember, we were ripping on this guy. Everybody was out in California.
Well, because he's
getting
Saffie Joseph.
Getting Saffie at in South Florida, and it's working out well. I think this one here is going to be tough to beat at 2-1, and it might just be a layup. The 9th race, real quick, is a 75,000 handicap going a mile on dirt, 1 turn. At first glance, you've got the 2 getting a lot of class relief, and has 1 here. That one's going to be tough to beat. And is anybody going to get away?
See, I'm already
5. The Barboza runner is even money and is going to try and get away. That's going to be a chalky race. And then real quick, let me just look at the 10th. I know you're at Belmont, but let me get in the 10th.
I already jumped. I already looked at Los Al. I'm kind of.
Oh, you're all over the place.
Yeah, I'm all over the place.
Well, I'm looking at the last race. I'm looking at the 10th race at Gulfstream now. I just want to see if I have any trip notes in here, which I don't. The 4 looks interesting, but Spanabel's on it. There's Drum Roll. I know this horse. I've connected on that one. Yeah, that one I'm going to have to dive deeper in, but this is a synthetic race. Wait, no, this is a, yeah, it is. Wow. Yeah, I guess it's all about the, it's going to be chalky. Probably the 3. I was thinking Spanamel though at a price, and you'll get it with her in the irons. Okay. Did you want to look at another circuit?
No, I gotta kind of wrap up here in a minute. But
all right, we have 181 people, guys. Thanks for joining in. Like and subscribe. You want to recap your 3 plays again real quick?
Yes, for the Coffee with Dew plays a Belmont race 6. We think the 8 wins, probably the 2 and the 4 are interesting and exactas. Maybe play them above and below the 8, maybe box the 2 and the 4, whatever you want. Monmouth's 9th race, the Tail of the Cat Stakes, number 7, Abrumar. I think it's number 7, but Abrumar is all you got to know. 7-2 on the morning line. We're hoping for that price. Don't think we'll get it, but I'd be very surprised if Abrumar loses. And then maybe the most interesting play is in Woodbine's 6th race, number 11, REA. Watch the replay of the career debut. If they come off the turf, which I don't expect, who really cares? Because I think the horse can run well on synthetic. We already saw it. Watch the gallop out from the replay. 20-1 on the morning line. Realistically, maybe 10 to 12 to 1 is the best we hope for. But those are the plays, Steve-O.
Those are the plays. And again, with Aria, I love that sibling, that half sibling that broke its maiden going down the hill at Santa Anita. So you got some turf there, and the Broodmare was a nice runner on turf. So I like that one stretching out. All right, guys, thanks for joining in, and we'll see you on the next edition of Coffee with Dew.
Later, bro.
Later.